Welcome back to Engineered Coffee. In the last episode, we broke down the journey of the aluminium capsule. Today, we go inside the machine that decides whether a capsule brews perfectly or fails completely. But first, please like and subscribe. It's free and helps get this content out to many more people who may be interested in this. When people talk about grinding coffee, they imagine baristas adjusting burrs, chasing flavor, dialing in the shots. But grinding for capsules, it's a different planet. Capsule grinding isn't about fine, coarse, or medium. It's about the entire particle size distribution curve, a mathematical fingerprint that controls flavor, crema, flow resistance, and pressure. And unlike barista brewing machines where you can adjust the grind, dose, temp, or time, in capsules, everything is fixed. It's fixed water volume, fixed pressure profiles, fixed contact time, fixed capsule geometry. So if the grind drifts by even 10 or 20 microns, yes, microns, the entire extraction falls apart. Here's the fundamental problem. Taste wants one thing, the brewing machine and the system want something completely different. Taste wants more fines, more surface area, deeper extraction, a tighter particle distribution. The machine wants don't choke, don't channel, don't exceed target pressure, and don't brew too fast. Every two enemies. At Eurocaps, we use water-cooled, three-stage industrial grinders from PE. These are massive roller molds with unbelievable precision. Each stage reduces the particle size in controlled steps until you get the exact distribution curve required for capsules. These aren't cafe grinders. They're precision machines capable of producing hundreds of kilos per hour with micron level consistency. Now let's talk about the heat. These grinders use 200 millimeter steel rolls with gaps as tight as 300 microns. And when that much metal is moving at that speed, friction generates heat fast. And if the cooling fails, the rolls expand from thermal growth. Literally, steel gets bigger. The roll gap changes, and suddenly your grind becomes finer, and the extraction slows, pressure spikes, and the nightmare scenario, the rolls expand until they touch each other. This is called a roll crash. A roll crash is catastrophic. You have to stop the line, you call maintenance, you inspect everything, and you pray that you have spares in stock, or it could be 6 weeks of downtime. This is why water cooling isn't just a feature, it's survival. Now let's talk about the densifier, or the hidden hero. After grinding, the coffee goes through something most people have never heard of, the densifier. This machine stabilizes the bulk density of the coffee. Why does this matter? Because in capsule filling, density equals dosing. If density drifts, the capsule doesn't fill correctly, flow time changes, crema changes, taste changes, and the entire capsule performance shifts. A densifier is the difference between consistent coffee and Russian roulette. Then we have what we do is called laser particle analysis. To make sure everything stays on track, we run laser particle size analysis on every grind, every 30 minutes. This isn't just checking the average particle size. It scans the entire curve, finds the main peak, the tail, large particles, and distribution stability over time. Any deviation is corrected immediately, because at capsule speeds, a small drift becomes a huge problem very quickly. Laser analysis is how we keep billions of capsules consistent. Next, let's talk about degassing. We have a degassing window. Freshly ground coffee releases CO2 aggressively. If you fill the capsules too early, they swell up. And too late, the coffee loses its freshness and body. So we also have to manage degassing windows between 2 and 24 hours, depending on the roast and the product. This, of course, also adds complexity for the logistics and planning side of the businesses. Every blend has its own personality. Now let's talk about roasting. Dark roast, easy to grind, brittle, produces more fines, and risk of slow extraction. A light roast, it's harder, more heat generated, risk of larger particles, and faster extraction. Capsules want a middle ground. You're balancing solubility, brittleness, aroma, flow resistance, crema, extraction all at once. So why is this much harder than just a barista or that making an espresso? If espresso grinding is like playing a guitar and capsule grinding is like playing a violin, one tiny adjustment and you're completely off. And unlike the barista, you don't get to dial in a bad ground or a grind or maybe waste a shot or two or even 50 grams. But in our business, once tons of coffee are ground, you live with that mistake. Now, here's another thing most people never think about. Once the coffee leaves the grinder, it still has to get to the filling machine. And if you transport ground coffee the wrong way, you can destroy the particle size distribution you've just engineered. Traditional systems like pneumatics, augers, vacuum conveyors create friction, break particles, generate heat, and shift the density. So we use a system called a chain beam. Think of a chain of enclosed discs moving gently through a sealed tube, carrying the ground coffee like a quiet conveyor river. No turbulence, no grinding the coffee against itself, no particle breakage. And the chain way preserves the grind curve, the density, the temperature, and the integrity of the coffee. It ensures the coffee that reaches the filler is the same coffee that left the grinder. Without it, you may well as not have a spec at all. Well, that's another Sunday come and gone. So until next week episode, please like and subscribe. As I said earlier, it really helps. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.